Okay, let me see if I can explain some of the little nuances about high style shooting, especially with a longer draw. Uh, the pit pouches or the high style pouches, there's two different sizes. One is for 8mm, the other is for 9mm or 9.5mm, or in our terms, 5/16 and 3/8. I've got a piece of 3/8 clay with one of the pouches that's set up for 3/8. And if you'll notice, it is slightly smaller than the outside diameter of the ammo, so that when you hold it, you are literally just holding the ammo. You're not touching the pouch at all. So I can swing that around in my hand. I'm not touching the pouch. As far as long draw comes into play, as you are holding it, your hand will rotate with long draw. And if you'll notice that the pouch starts to tweak a little bit. So you want to have a almost forward lean to start off with, and you come back into a straight. So your hand needs to be your fingers need to be really straight, okay? It takes a little practice, it takes a little videoing like you were talking about doing, and kind of see what it is you aren't doing or whatever. If you end up rolling it down, it will kick your shot up. If you end up rolling it up, it will kick your shot down. That's because the band tension is different between the top and bottom when you roll them up. Another thing is how it is level with your frame. So your hand will twist naturally as you're drawing back. So if your frame is, like you said, you're shooting gangster and you're pulling straight back, it kind of puts your arm in a weird position. So you will naturally kind of come back to a twisted position. You have to bring it back straight and get those bands razor straight, so that when it comes through, it kicks out. If you twist either way, you're going to get a shot that goes to the left or a shot that goes to the right. If you kick up and twist, you're going to end up with a shot that goes down and to the left, and you'll get a fork hit. As far as the release goes, and you've probably seen some of Nathan's videos and everybody else say it's all in the release. It is absolutely true. It is all in a release. You don't want to actually open your hand. You're not trying to let go of it. You're just gonna kind of slowly open your fingers, and it will slip from your fingers. I'm gonna do this really light. It just slips. I'm just barely opening my hand, and it should almost startle you. If you've ever shot a gun, one of the things they tell you is not to squeeze the trigger. Kind of the same aspect in this. As you're pulling back on the trigger, it should fire and almost be a surprise to you. So if you are set, when you let go, now I'm exaggerating this, but when you let go, it should surprise you. This is about how I do it, okay? Hand strength comes into play also. That's why I mentioned the lighter bands and the clay ammunition. You don't have a lot of finger strength. We have developed that pinch that we will push usually through our thumb and onto our finger, but we're pushing down with our thumb. You don't want to push anywhere. You want to just hold it, because if you're gripping too hard one way or the other, it will also throw your shot out or in. So the way I started doing it, let me find another piece real quick. And I still tend to do this, is I will actually pinch in front of it and pull back, and then as it's almost kind of like a safety. I'm actually touching my fingertips together, and as I draw back, I will open them up. And when I get to that position, to where my set position, my anchor, that's when I just, and it lets go. It sounds simple, but the things you want to take away from it are your bands need to be dead even, and your pouch needs to be the same. No twisting, no throwing it up and down, anything like that. So like me, I shoot at a 45. So this is my angle. So my bands actually have to twist in just a little bit. I find that a little bit more comfortable with high style because my arm naturally wants to come back at that position and put my thumb kind of underneath, if you understand what I'm saying. I know it's kind of random out there or whatever. I didn't really think about what it is I was trying to say. I just kind of did this, but yes, straight bands, and your pouch should be exactly straight with it. Tying over the top helps also. So I don't know why, but it seems to help a little bit. I used to try and tie through the fork, even using over the top, and it worked, but I'd get some flyaways every now and then. I started tying over the top, and it became more consistent. So straight bands, let it startle you. Don't flourish your release, just let it slip. And especially when starting out, put your fingertips together and come back, just let it go. I hope that helps, brother.